When people say, why did you live in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. If you're gonna go to the police and say he me back in 1988, they're gonna say we should have done something about it then. They go, oh, well, you're a rapist. I say, no, I'm not a rapist. But I like the idea of being able to just say, to do what I want. I like being free.
Yeah,
Romania is a beautiful place. There's no feminists. There's no open homosexuality. It's corrupt, which suits me because I'm rich. Excuse me, you were speeding. Yeah, sorry, mate. What's the, I have to pay a fine? Yes, you must pay a fine. Oh, okay, yeah, bye. Speed off, he doesn't care, I don't care, back done. It's corrupt, which I fucking love. No immigrants and refugees.
A lot of these dudes talk about fertility and looks and stuff. If I meet a girl who's 33 and single, I know the amount of dick that's been through her before me is just simply unattractive. If I get a 19-year-old girl, I might be her second or third man, right?
But in general, this is also one of the reasons men find youth attractive. You want to blow up the internet, I'll blow up the internet right now. The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. I'll say this right here on the internet. Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I could put my imprint on her and make her a good person, and without her having to go through all that detriment. I'll say this right here on the internet.
Once you're 18, if you want to get yourself a real man, I know a guy.
You do?
I do, yeah. I do know a guy.
Who is it?
What? It's a long story. I can't tell you exactly who because there's bad things about it.
Yo, there's no f***ing way you just said that.
There's no rape culture garbage. It's not taught. It's not thought of. No one really does it. A girl wouldn't stay around your house unless she wants to have sex with you because she understands that why the f would she stay around your house otherwise? I give my attention to get sex. She gives her sex to get attention. That's how it should work. That's the fair trade. But now you have girls who get all the attention without returning the sex part. Women are a certain way. Yeah, it's annoying. But if you can identify it, and this is why your book's so great, if you can identify it and understand it, then what you need to do is position yourself in a way that you can use it against them, exploit them.
Baby. Oh, poor thing. I have an idea. Some ideas? You want to know my ideas? That's right, lock the door, you knew I was going to beat the out of you. If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to my abode. So, Andrew Tate recently did an interview with the BBC. I despise the BBC. I despise everything they stand for as a corporation. And I also despise Andrew Tate and everything he stands for. I thought this would be an interesting, interview to watch. So Andrew Tate agreed to this interview. Why? I don't know, because you would think this man isn't on some very serious allegations right now that could put him away for a very long time. And, this interview can definitely be used in court to incriminate him. It's just not a smart thing to do on any level, but we all know Andrew Tate likes to think. I mean, he said it, that he is the most dangerous man in the world. He's the smartest person in the room. All of this talk. So, he genuinely does think he is intellectually above everyone else. So I'm not surprised that he would think that, yes, I can do an interview with the BBC and come out completely fine. Guys, I undid my first button because one thing above all is we need to be sexy on Saturdays. Am I right? But based off the stuff that you're hearing people say about this interview, you'd think that this was a win for Tate. Like, he dismantled her in this interview. He was a top, and I was like, I watched it and I thought to myself, is this a joke? Like, are people having my life? Because what I saw was a man nervous the entire time, completely avoiding any single question that was put his way, and kept on trying to tell the interviewer how great of a person he was. I thought the interview was borderline embarrassing for Tate. Like, in no way did he win. Even close. Like, he just kept on ignoring everything she said. That, bear in mind, she was only repeating the things that he had already said, right? She was repeating the things that he had already said, yet he was acting as if he had never said it, like it's not out there on the internet to find. He just kept going, I never said it. Hustlers University, what's that? The way I see it, the way I saw the interview was the woman basically asking him, can you please explain these transcripts that we have pulled from the videos that you have made saying these things online that are still out there for anybody to see? And also in regards to your website, we have pulled word for word, copied and pasted, Control C, Control V. On here right now of what was on your website, could you once again explain? And Andrew Tate just looks her dead in the eye and says, who's Andrew Tate? And that is the honest vibe throughout this entire interview, because my man did not take accountability for anything. It was like he never said it. It was like he never said it. You know those clips that we kept on seeing on TikTok of Andrew Tate? Never happened. That wasn't Andrew Tate. That was Bandrew Bait. It was like, the sex trafficking allegations. She said, brother Andrew, you are currently under investigation for sex trafficking. Do you want to explain that? Andrew said, hold up. Let's not do that. Let's talk about all the people I haven't done anything bad to. he said, pull up all the people I've not done anything bad to and ask them if they think I'm a bad person. Like, I shit you not, this is one of the most embarrassing interviews I have ever seen someone do in my life. Why did he do it in the first place? He's not got anything to possibly gain from this, but he still fucking did it because the guy is an egotistical narcissist. The guy thinks he is the smartest person in the room. He thinks he's playing 4D chess while you're still playing noughts and crosses. But you know the funniest thing about this whole Andrew Tate saga is his fans. Like, his fans. You think Andrew Tate lives in complete delusion? These fans are on another level where you're looking and you're just going, there is no way you can be riding it this hard. There is no fucking way you are just not thinking for yourself while at the same time thinking that you are the most independent thinker in the world. It's so funny, man. These people, like, you see them flock like sheep towards this man's very word, literally cult-like, and yet they all think they are so individual. Yeah, we're not trying to work no 9 to 5. We got Hustlers University. What are you talking about? Give me the real world. That's where they make millionaires. That's where millionaires are made.
There was some screen recordings for the website building and Facebook ad portions, but for most of it, it was just this absolutely basic PowerPoint presentation with a voiceover behind it. And the voiceover sounded like it was done through a laptop microphone. And we never even really got to see the person behind the voice. I'm not even trolling or joking. I feel like if I hired somebody on Fiverr to make me a dropshipping course, this is exactly what I would get.
The real world, Andrew Tate's course, that's what's gonna make me rich. You know, they're pointing at people getting degrees and saying, look at that NPC, another agent just buying into the matrix. You know what I mean? Look at me, I'm at Hustlers University. I'm learning how to dropship. I'm learning how to copyright. You know what I mean? I'm learning how to work for Jeff Bezos. But you know me, I'm breaking out the matrix. I'm breaking out of the matrix. Look at you. Like, I shit you not, I was absolutely bamboozled and utterly kerfuffled when I heard a grown man during an interview with the BBC where they're asking him about some serious fucking allegations, say it's a matrix attack. And I don't just mean he said he was a matrix attack. I mean, anything that they said, Andrew Tate would just say, this is made up by the Matrix. You know, the movie with Keanu Reeves. 1999 movie with Keanu Reeves. You lot need to stop doing that. You lot need to stop doing that, man. You need to stop doing that. Like, we need to stop saying a Keanu Reeves movie is responsible for all the fucking shit that we got going on, right? State propaganda is not the Matrix. The truth is, it's not the Matrix. Call it for what it is, which is that the negative values that are instilled in a lot of people through growing up in a society such as this, you know, I'm not going to say the word of what this society is or anything like that, because I don't want to start shit. But when you grow up in that kind of society that, you know, where people are more so incentivized to prioritize gain over anything else, you get people like Andrew Tate, you get the corrupt politicians, you get the people that want to exploit the people of a lower class. That's why you get a society like this. It's not the Matrix, bruh. It's the fucked up values that a lot of human beings have, which allows for all the fucked up shit that we see in the world today, which is why you are constantly being kept down, which is why all of this shit is happening. It's not the Matrix. Because if you actually looked into why it is that we have a society where the rich continue to get richer and the poor continue to get poorer, you wouldn't be an Andrew Tate fan. I know this fucking man is clearly going to paint himself, or at least try to paint himself, as the next coming of Jesus Christ, because he's got an ego that is so big and is constantly being fueled by his cult-like fan base who worship every single thing he says and does, even when there's no kind of substance to it at all.
Andrew Tate. Hello. You've agreed to do an interview with the BBC today.
Yep.
The material is going to be published on television, on radio, online.
Perfect.
We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have. I would argue that a lot of the things that are already out there inside of the legacy media and the Matrix as a whole are far more damaging than the things I say.
It's the concern about the influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's start with the allegations.
Not necessarily a harmful influence. The fact that I'm massively influential over the youth, and I understand that, but it's my influence as a whole which people are afraid of, not necessarily the things I say.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for money?
Absolutely not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. Firstly, you cannot get a girl to work for you haven't fucked. So the recruitment process is the same as the PhD course. You message them on Instagram. The PhD course is my recruitment system. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You fuck the girl. After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD test. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you, then you start mentioning things like, yeah, but you know, you're always busy, you're always at work, you can come work for me.
The thing is, the guy just doesn't exploit only women. You know, he's very much in the realm of also exploiting down on their luck insecure men.
I'd pull in, let's say, $3,000 a day, $4,000 a day. So that became my new life, right? I went from kickboxer to fucking pretend girl on the internet.
Yo, the alpha male.
We had these guys falling in love with my models, serious, big time in love, right? And they were convinced they were going to meet the chick. This is almost where I kind of felt bad, because they were like, can we meet? I've sent you $200,000. Can we meet? Can we meet? Can we meet? And the problem
what
is,
was the most that one person sent to a model? Total.
Million? I'm famoosing these dudes, right? So the guy would be like, what kind of guys do you like? And if he was a young man, I'd say, I can't believe I'm talking to some young guy. All these old creeps are on here. Oh my God, you're so handsome. Why are you even here?
So
if he was an old guy, I would say, oh my God, I'm finally glad to talk to you. All these young creeps keep coming to talk to me. I want a guy who's serious, who's ready to settle down. I know older men will settle down. Sell the dream, sell the dream, sell the dream.
And this is not like an 18 or a 19-year-old saying these things. Andrew Tate was in his 30s when he was saying like most of this shit. This was a grown-ass man in his 30s talking about how he prefers 18, 19-year-olds.
I have to protect myself. I've agreed to do an interview with you, and I want to be as honest with you as possible. But I can't incriminate myself in any way, and I have to be very careful with what I talk about.
There are no charges yet.
Correct, there are no charges.
Has said that
there are no charges, and
must
I've agreed to speak to you. But I have to be as honest and frank as I can while also protecting myself and following my legal counsel.
So let's talk about what you've said yourself then. You have said on the website, for your original website for the Hustlers University, that you emotionally manipulated women to fall in love with you so that you could get them working in the sex industry for your financial gain.
As I said, I have to be very careful with what I say, but let's put it this way. No women are coming out against me. and accusing me of doing it.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Who?
There's testimony from the current investigation.
The current investigation, which I cannot discuss, which I know intimately and you don't, I can tell you right now that the women who are in this case file, there are 2 American women who have been caught already admitting they're lying, and then nobody else is accusing me of anything.
To begin with, it's very common.
He's telling lies already. I know this interview is just going to be this man lying the entire fucking time. And you know what's crazy? He had that on his website as well, right? He had it on his website. Obviously, it's changed now because he's changed it because he's literally under investigation for this shit. So he's changed it now, but that shit was on his website. If you know how to use Wayback Machine, you know what that is. Go on there, put the link in, and you will see what the website was like. So yeah, that's a lie. Andrew Tate fans will have been posting. I'm gonna put the picture there. They'll post this screenshot and be like, oh yeah, the girls, it was admitted that they were lying. They're trying to spread that narrative that, oh yeah, the girls were lying. And whereas this is actually the full chat logs. In the full chat logs, you can see that, yeah, these girls are scared. They are the victims, and essentially what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure out a plan of how they can escape. So they're trying to find a way to kind of manipulate Tristan and Andrew to let them escape, to give them enough freedom so that they can escape. Which is why conveniently Andrew Tate's team, because it was his friend that leaked it, Andrew Tate's team only leaked a little bit of that, a little bit of the chat logs, whereas the full log actually put everything in context. So yeah, I already kind of feel like this interview is just going to be completely pointless and stupid from Andrew Tate's perspective, because he's just straight up going to deny everything while trying to paint himself in whatever light he wants to for his audience. So I feel like this interview is really for his audience to just eat up more of his bullshit, because he's just going to lie throughout the entire thing. And people are obviously not going to fact check it or really bother to, so they're just going to believe whatever Andrew Tate says because he's their king. So while she's making all these claims that are very much valid, right, Andrew Tate is just going to deny them. He's just going to deny all these claims, and then his fans are going to be like, oh yeah, it's just the BBC attacking him. It's just the BBC coming in with an agenda. They're just making stuff up.
If I was a matrix-controlled organization and my goal was to slander somebody and try and destroy their name, you're telling me that they've chosen a crime which, one, is heinous, of course, because it damages the person's credibility, and 2, you're saying that even if everyone else involved, if you have 5 people and everyone's sitting there saying, no, nobody's hurt anybody, we like Andrew, we've all worked together, or we're friends, etc.
That's not what everybody's saying.
No.
Let me read you some of the testimony from the current investigation.
Can I finish, please?
One of the witnesses said...
Can I finish, please?
You're not answering the question I've asked you. You're not answering the question I've asked you.
I am answering the question.
Let me read you the testimony of one of the witnesses.
You're saying the people who are involved in this, even if they say they're not victims, that they're still going to try and attack me and pretend they're victims.
Treated as victims by the case that's ongoing. And not all of them are saying that. One of the witnesses says...
We can't go into the case. The case is open and active.
Well, let's just be clear that not all of the witnesses in the case are behaving in the way you describe. And even those that are, it doesn't bar them from being treated as victims by the prosecution by the case.
We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files. And
it's funny though, because before it was, oh yeah, you know, there's no charges, they're not gonna find anything, there's no charges against me, this is all just da 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 da. It's gone from that to, oh yeah, now I'm gonna be found innocent of all the charges that they make up against me. I mean, you see, that doesn't make sense, because the people who did believe he did it, it's funny because when Tate got put under house arrest, you saw a bunch of his fans saying, oh my God, he's free. This is a good day. We need to celebrate this and that. They couldn't find any charges. Tate is free. He's a good free man. And it's gone from that to, oh my God, they're going to just make all these things up against him now. All of these charges and all of these serious allegations, they're all made up. All of them. All of them are gonna be made up because they hate Andrew Tate because he's helping young men be better. Because you got to think, yeah, this interview wasn't needed. So I'm just putting it out there. Could it be an act of desperation? Maybe he knows he's absolutely fucked and this is like a last act desperation attempt to kind of, you know, pull in as many people as he can and, you know, get his audience riled up and on his side by just constantly proclaiming the Matrix, you know, denying everything that's been said against him and just saying it's the Matrix coming after me. I do all this good. I'm a beacon for positivity. You know, is it because he knows that he's in a fucked up situation?
I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely and utterly, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated. And I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system. And I'm not going to incriminate myself because you're trying to prod me. You are wrong, and we're going to have to accept that for now and talk about something else.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think that's
exactly what
no,
you said.
That's no, I've never said that. That's something that you found on the internet. Doesn't mean I've said it.
And so you don't want a girl who's in it for money. You want a girl who's in it to be with you. So you meet a girl, you take her on dates, you fuck her, whatever. She passes the PhD test. Then you start saying things like, oh yeah, but you're always working. I have to do some traveling and you can't come. I want to bring you with me. Traveling's a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. If you can find a good Airbnb with good internet, you can run it somewhere else. So it's a good little caveat to throw in. Oh, and you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So, okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen. Come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. You, your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. My first girl was so good, it was easy. My girl would sit there and go, oh my God, before this I was a waitress and it was shit, and now I do this and I make so much money, and the guys all love me and they adore me, and on my birthday they send me presents, and I get so much money, blah, 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 and it's so much fun, and we stay at home, and da-da-da-da, and we're gonna go to Thailand soon, we're gonna be working in Thailand, and we're gonna stay there for as long as we want, you should come with us, it's gonna be so much fun, da-da-da-da, martinis, 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 bang, threesome. Slam them both. Your bottom bitch knows. This girl's like, okay, well, I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give them a bottle of vodka. Put on the fucking chatterbait, 100 tokens per shot. The guys will send loads of money to get the girls drunk because guys like drunk girls. Girls will sit there, get drunk, have a great time. You say it's your new job now. You haven't go to work ever again. That's how you recruit girls. You do not recruit girls any other way.
I fucking said it. I said this man is just gonna lie through his teeth the entire fucking interview. He said, oh, I don't know where you found that, but it's not me. It's like, sir, this is a copied and pasted message directly from you. It's like, what? Me? Nah, someone else.
It's actually very interesting that me, one of the most famous people in the world, who's been vilified by the legacy media and places all over the internet, while everyone has attacked me from every single angle, while federal agencies from multiple countries have called over 2,000 women who know me, we stand here with 0 new accusations since my arrest. 0. If you took any famous person, any man of substantial wealth, and you called 2,000 women who knew him, you'd find an ex-girlfriend is upset, somebody who wants money who's upset. They called 2,000 people who knew me and could not find a single woman to make a new complaint. The only complaints they have against me.
I really don't understand what he's trying to get at with that. That, okay, they called 2,000 people who knew you. And if I was a serial killer, but I happen to be, you know, fucking charismatic and best friends with everyone, you can ask 2,000 people who I haven't killed, and they'll be like, yeah, he's a great guy. Like, if you're a fucking serial rapist, right, you can ask 2,000 people who you've never raped, and they'll say, oh yeah, he's a good guy. That's not what the shit is. That's not how this shit works. It's ridiculous to even try to say that. Oh yeah, but you know the 2,000 people who have not done anything wrong to you, they all think I'm great. You know, the couple of people who said I did some absolutely horrible shit to them, they're definitely lying, because the 2,000 people who I've never done anything bad to, they all think I'm a good guy. Like, imagine Ted Bundy using that shit in court. It's like, Your Honor, they must be lying about all those women I killed. Because if you ask the people around me that knew me, they'd tell you I was fabulous. Ask him how great of a guy I am. Go on, ask him.
Well, I'm actually such a nice person that I've never had anyone come
The BBC has spoken to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation, there's an ulterior
Is this Sophie?
Everything
Is this Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face, the story that was invented.
Wanting to please him and wanting him to be happy, that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what is she accused? Has she accused me of a crime, this imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is
Has she accused me of a crime?
Emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here because I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you the question.
Correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answers.
No, we're equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you, and I'm telling you now.
Bro thinks he's giving the BBC relevance. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. I don't understand what he thought this interview was gonna be. Did he think they were just gonna sit down, have a little coffee, and, you know, be bum chums throughout the entire thing? Like, what did he think this interview was? My guy, you are interviewing with the BBC. Like, bro really thought this was a podcast. Did you think it was just gonna be a chilled interview? Bro, you're under investigation for fucking sex trafficking. It's like, what do you mean? Like, you're under some serious fucking shit. This whole interview to begin with is crazy that you're even having it in the first place, because every single thing, anything that you say can be used against you. Like, every single bit of information that you bring out of your mouth, it's being written down somewhere. I just don't understand. Like, no matter how smart you think you are, doing things like this is incredibly stupid. And I think it's because Tate is a stupid individual. Yeah. And I just think it's comical how he's trying to frame this whole thing that, oh yeah, you're just coming after me. There's an agenda after me because I'm just trying to help young men. You know, if you looked out there and you were looking at people, there's so many other people that have done so much worse stuff. You know, there's bad people out there. And it's like, bro, are you forgetting that the charges against you? You're one of those really bad people that people should be looking at. Like, the charges against you aren't a fucking joke. Unless you just want to straight up say they're all made up. If you're an Andrew Tate fan and you want to just say, yeah, all of these charges are all made up, then he is definitely one of those people that you should be looking into. You're under investigation for sex trafficking. Like,
what are we talking about here? What is she saying?
Talking about emotional manipulation into the sex industry for your financial gain.
Absolute garbage. She has not filed criminal. This person, if they exist, has not filed criminal charges against me. I welcome anybody who believes I've harmed them, male or female, any point in the past, to file criminal charges against me. I will fight them. I know who I am, and I know what I've done, and I know the truth, and I know that I'll be found innocent of this attack. The reason I'm being attacked is because of my massive influence, not because I've ever hurt anybody. And for you to sit here and say that everybody around you is saying you're innocent, but that doesn't matter because the state will say they're victims, and they're just going to grab everybody you know and call everybody victims, even if they say they're not, and try and put you in jail. You are describing a matrix attack. You're not describing human trafficking.
I'm describing...
God, he's actually in an interview with the BBC talking about the Matrix. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Like, you know how I said this interview is really just for his audience? I think that that's the only reason he did this, because I don't think this looks good on anybody except his own audience. What do you mean the Matrix? You keep shouting this, the Matrix thing, the Matrix, the Matrix, the Matrix.
We are living inside of the Matrix, and I am Morpheus.
Chilling in Dubai. This is what happens when you're outside the Matrix. You're geographically free.
Call it for what it is. But the reason he's not going to call it out is because he knows he is the exact person that he's describing as the Matrix. He is the biggest agent of it.
It's studying. You can either go to university and look at books and study and be a geek, or you can learn how to make some money, because they don't teach you that in university. They don't teach you how to make money. Have you ever seen a college professor with an S63 and a McLaren and a Lambo and an Aston Martin standing next to a Porsche? No, you've never seen any of this. I know how to make cash.
Do you have 4 hours a day to copy paste? Because if so, you will guarantee to make money. What else could I do with this $49 as opposed to hate you, which would be better for my future? And there is no other option.
I have 100 business tips I'm going to teach you, which will allow you to make your own money instantly. You are in the place where the money resides. You're there. You're amongst it.
You're amongst the people who are going to be the future millionaires and billionaires of Earth. Every single spare second you have needs to be dedicated towards Hustlers University.
The shit he preaches, the values that he has, you know, all those materialistic possessions, even the way he came up, you know, the webcam business, casinos, he is literally the embodiment of this whole capitalist system. And I don't blame him for that, because that's just what we live in. But call it for what it is, bro. You are an agent of the Matrix, which is why he'll never say what the Matrix is. Instead, he just says, oh, the Matrix, the Matrix, the Matrix. And that way his audience can just go, oh, anyone who's attacking Andrew Tate is obviously the Matrix, because Andrew Tate said so. My guy, you literally run a course on the internet. You literally run courses on the internet teaching young men how to be successful through things like copywriting, drop shipping, information that is very much free on the internet. You charge these motherfuckers like what, £50 every single month to get the information that they could find on the internet for free.
How to turn 0 into 5,000. How to turn 5,000 into 50,000. How to turn 50,000 into 500,000. How to turn 500,000 into 1 million. How to turn 1 million into more millions.
Definitely not even close to a profit, actually made a substantial loss. Would I suggest buying Hustlers University? Absolutely not, because it is absolutely the worst course I've ever seen on dropshipping ever. All the information you can find there, you can find on YouTube, and it will literally be 20 times better.
I mean, probably not, because you can find better information out there on YouTube, like actual step-by-step videos for completely free.
Your instructors have a fraction of the charisma of Tate. You're supposed to commit yourself to these skill sets, which are super surface level. You've been told you're gonna escape the Matrix. You're gonna take the red pill. But what you end up doing in this course is sort of learning how to run an Amazon side hustle for Jeff Bezos. This course doesn't seem to be getting people rich. It just teaches lost guys extremely basic skills that are free to learn, but charges them $50 a month for it so they can feel like they're escaping the Matrix by working for Jeff Bezos.
That was CoffeeZilla. In case you don't know, he is a YouTuber that did a little expose on Tate's Hustlers University. Basically exposed it for what it was, which is a very low effort website that funnels guys in. Guys pay $50 or some even more to essentially get basic skills that you can find online for free. And Tate gets a whole load of money, and these guys end up just losing money, thinking they're part of something bigger, but they're not.
Messes this up, annoys a professor, doesn't renew their subscription, their card cancels, anything stupid, then you're going to regret it for a very long time, because there's simply nowhere else to go.
I unsubscribed to get my mother a birthday present, but I resubscribed the next month. I don't believe that. I don't believe you. And I also think if you were a member of Hustlers University for a month and you didn't make enough money to buy your mother a birthday present, you fucked up. So you're probably going to end up kicked out.
Because the truth is, not everyone is going to be millionaires. Not everyone can be millionaires. The world still needs people with professions. The world still needs nurses, doctors, teachers, lawyers. People still need to go to university. People still need to get a degree, because not everyone can do what you say by, oh yeah, if you register $50 with Hustlers University, you are guaranteed to be rich. That's a con, man. That's a fucking snake oil salesman.
What else could I do with this $49 as opposed to HU, which would be better for my future? And there is no other option. You are failing yourself if you do not join.
There is over 100.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking.
We will see what women go. We will see what women go to court at the end of this trial. We'll see which women go to court.
Can I finish, please?
We'll see which women go to court.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human
trafficking. Sophie hasn't gone to court. Sophie doesn't exist.
And I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length.
Sophie doesn't exist.
And other media organisations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion. And I'm quoting back to you your own words where you describe.
They're not my words.
Coercion.
They're words you found. They're words you found on the internet. And Sophie doesn't exist. So let's move on to the next subject.
Andrew Tate is currently under investigation for sex trafficking because he has, admittedly himself, he has admitted this himself, that he would message women, get in contact with them, preferably very young, very naive, get in contact with these women that are young and naive, and he would sell them a dream, tell them he loves them, tell them that he wants to marry them, tell them all the stuff that they want to hear. You know, so he tells them that if they come to Romania, they can get married, they'll be together, that he loves them. And then when they get to Romania, he then gets another woman that, you know, this woman is admittedly probably his girlfriend, his actual girlfriend, gets this other woman to then speak to this new girl, tell this new girl about this whole little business plan that they got going on, says if this girl comes in, she can earn a lot of money, he can earn a lot of money, and everybody can earn a lot of money together. And then that way, the girl starts doing webcam business, because that's the business that he's in. That's the business where they get the money. So then the girl starts doing webcam business, and now she's been exploited because now she's been forced to engage in sex work. But she came to Romania under the guise of this man wanting to marry her. Now that's a known pimping method, and it's a known method within sex trafficking organizations. It's called the lover boy method, where you emotionally manipulate, you lie, and you basically deceive a woman into coming to you, and then when she comes to you, she's then trapped and unable to escape, whether that be by, you know, withholding her passport from her, or whether that be, you know, manipulating these girls through the sex work, which he's admitted himself, he goes for girls that have never done anything like this before. And yes, the lover boy method is a full-on crime. It is a pimping method. It is a tactic that some pimps use to lure women and manipulate women into coming in for sex trafficking, coming into the sex trafficking industry. So yeah, it is very much a persecuted crime.
And Sophie doesn't exist.
On your
so let's move on to
website,
the next subject.
In your voice.
Move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places in that same website where you say you get girls to fall in love with you, and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say. Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you.
Once
that's
again,
coercion, that's emotional manipulation, that's abuse.
What you've found are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should be
your website.
Bro, they're not just texts from the internet, clips from the internet. They're clips of you from the internet and text from your fucking website.
You're telling me that that's the reason I should be
your website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Check my website. Next.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why those comments have been taken down.
No website's been taken down. My website is the same. It's been the same for a very long time.
The comments on this website, on the original website, have been taken down, and I wonder why.
You are accusing me. I'm guessing what you're trying to say is you're accusing me, and you're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of, and that I'm emotionally manipulating people.
I'm saying that you have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
And I'm asking you about that.
Absolutely not is the answer.
It's not just
thousands of women have come out in my defense. Thousands of women have come out in my defense, and you've not mentioned that. Thousands of women come out in my defense.
Because the problem is when women accuse you of serious crimes.
Okay,
and emotional
but
manipulation.
let's agree that thousands of women. Let's agree that
it's
thousands.
It's not the problem that some people say you haven't done it. It's a problem that some people say you have.
And I never understand people that do good things and then complain that nobody's talking about them doing good things. If you're doing something good, you should be doing it because you're a good person, not because you expect people to talk about the good things that you're doing. Because then it just screams you want the attention, and that's why you're doing these good things, because you want attention. So, like, he's gonna keep on deflecting, going, oh yeah, but what about all the people that say I did do good? What about all the people that say I'm such a great guy? That's never the fucking thing. That's never what it's gonna be about. It's not about the people that claim you're a great guy. It's about the people that come out and say, no, this man is actually a monster. Nobody's gonna investigate people saying, oh yeah, Andrew Tate is great. Nobody's going to investigate that. So why would people report that? Why would that be the story? Oh yeah, people saying Andrew Tate is great. When it's like, no, let's look into the people that are saying, no, this guy is not great. And now let's look into this guy now. It's like, my guy, you are under investigation for sex trafficking. Nobody gives a shit about the good things that you're doing when the shit that's out there is very fucking damning. The shit that's come out of your mouth. And she's asking, can you explain these things? And instead of you to maybe put them into context, like, you know, the way I see it, this interview is a lose-lose in terms of for Andrew Tate. So, but instead of him at least putting it into context, because it's out there on the internet for people to see, instead he's just gone, I've not said it. I didn't say it.
Done it. It's a problem that some people say you have.
Thousands of women come out in my defense, and as we stand right now, we have an open criminal investigation. The people who are involved in the criminal investigation are saying that we're not victims of anything. Andrew's fine, he's never hurt us.
You're saying no, I have the opposite to that. I have to counter that. I have someone called Sophie with no face, a fake name, who we've invented, and she's not accusing you of anything criminal. So I don't see the whole point you're trying to make here.
You say you manipulate women, they say you manipulate women. Why wouldn't people think you do?
I'm not here. Do you think I'm manipulating you?
I'm asking you about the testimony you've...
Nah, I'm sorry, man. This guy is washed, bro. Like, I am actually... Like, if you're looking at this, thinking he looks good in any capacity, I'm sorry, what? Like, I thought at the very least, you know, someone was gonna engage in these conversations. This is basically just Andrew Tate trying to say, oh yeah, but look at all the other people who say I'm good. Ignore all the bad people saying bad things about me. Look at all the good people saying good things about me. Let's talk about that. And it's like, bro, you're under investigation once again for sex trafficking. This is not a conversation, chit chat back and forth. The BBC is here to grill you on the stuff that you have said on video, recorded shit, the stuff that you have promoted throughout your entire fucking come up on this social media that is on, once again, on video. A bunch of all these things is not just made up. Andrew Tate has said it himself. It's like, so that's where these things have come from. When you're on the internet, especially, like, you cannot deny that when Andrew Tate came up, it was because we were seeing all these clips on TikTok, especially a bunch of misogynistic clips that we were seeing on TikTok. That's why he cultivated that massive fan base, right? So if you want to say that, oh yeah, that was Andrew Tate, you know, playing a character, he was just playing it up for social media, cool, that's fine. But the problem is, when he's done all that, said all that, and then people actually now start coming out and saying, yeah, this man is actually a monster. This man is actually a dickhead. This man is actually a piece of shit. This man is doing some bad things. Now you're going, oh, maybe this isn't just a character. Let's actually investigate this person who's claiming to do these things on video and claiming to live this kind of life on video and is selling that kind of life to other young men. Let's look into that guy. It's not an agenda that, oh yeah, they're just making these things up and they're coming to attack me. It's no, bro, you self-snitched on yourself multiple times, over and over again, throughout the years. And that's what these motherfuckers are looking at, going, okay, so he said all of that and now people are coming out accusing him of those things. Huh.
You've printed something off that you found on Reddit, and you're going to sit here and say that makes me a bad person. And I'm saying that you should know better as a journalist and do some proper journalism. Let's investigate the fact that thousands...
I think you should answer my questions
properly. I already have, and we should move on. She's just trying to start an argument.
It's not only about the criminal allegations. It's a much bigger issue. You've got children's organisations in the UK, you've got rape organisations in the UK, you've got the police naming you by name as someone who has a harmful influence on children and on women in the UK and elsewhere because of the things you say, because of the way you present gender relations, the way you say men should treat women.
That's very upsetting. And the reason that's very upsetting is because I know that's not true. I'm genuinely a good person.
In all cheating scenarios, 100% of the blame is always on the female.
Women do not have a business mind.
I'm looking for those fucking bimbos whose man cheated on them. And instead of sitting there like a good woman, looking in the mirror and saying, my tits are a little saggy and I don't listen enough, of course that's why he cheated. Instead they want to go on Facebook and go, men are the enemy, men are pigs, why did he do it? I can't believe he did it, I'm so confused. What are you confused about, bitch? When's the last time you cooked him dinner?
As professionals, we discussed the infidelity of females. And I said that female infidelity is more disgusting than male infidelity. And I think that the world agrees with me. History agrees with me. The Bible agrees with me. The Quran agrees with me. Every single book you can read from history says that females who are promiscuous should either be stoned to death or at least cast out from society.
I believe my impact on the world is positive. In fact, if you were to read the comment section of nearly any video I post, especially by the legacy media, 95% of the population agree with me.
This is what I mean when I say, yeah, Andrew Tate is an idiot. I'm sorry. You cannot literally, didn't he just say, oh yeah, you found this on the internet, you found this from Reddit, you found all these comments, I didn't say it, you found it on the internet, and then in that same breath go, by the way, look at the YouTube comments of people praising me. Like, you can't make this shit up, bro. You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. Man said, look at the YouTube comments if you want to know if I'm a great guy. It's like, oh. So it's like anything that she says against him is her, you know, making it up and attacking him. But at the same time, all the validation that this guy gets is from the internet as well. So it's like he wants everybody to just ignore all the bad things that go on, and just look at the good things. Focus on the positive. The media never reports the positive. They only report all the fucking instances where I've just been a complete degenerate.
Population agree with me. Most people know that the things I say are positive. Legacy media as a whole has lost all its credibility in the last 3 to 4 years. Nobody believes it. And it's a shame, it's a massive shame that the BBC come here and try and push and purport this idea that I'm a dangerous person. I'm
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why?
I'm anti-drugs. I've never pushed drugs or any. I'm anti-drugs. I'm anti-violence. The UK is facing a knife crime epidemic, and they're going to sit here and say that I'm the most dangerous man in the UK.
You have said you're the most dangerous man in the world.
I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world.
I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get by me.
He said that multiple times. I'm a bit confused because the stuff that this woman is saying from the BBC, it's not things they're all things Andrew Tate has said. So he said it multiple times. He's been recorded saying it over voice messages to girls. He's been recorded saying it on his fucking podcast. It's like he genuinely does believe he is the most dangerous man in the world. Well done. Our boy Andy keeps on lying. He just can't help himself. I said it. He was just gonna lie throughout the entire interview. And obviously, like, because of this whole Matrix shit that this guy has just brought up, like, in every single instance that he's been accused, nothing can really stick to him in the eyes of his fans, because any single thing that comes out about Andrew Tate is just gonna be instances that were made up by the Matrix. You know, the Matrix just made it up. It's not him. It's everything was fake.
I'm genuinely a force for good. And the reason they're doing this is because of the massive influence I have over the youth. And they don't like that I'm telling the youth to think outside of the Matrix and ignore things like the BBC, which come here with loaded questions and false narratives and try and paint innocent people as guilty.
You've said women's intimate parts belong to their male partner.
I said that if a woman marries a man, she takes his last name and traditionally the man gives her away. I've been pushing traditional religious beliefs, because I'm a religious man, and traditional beliefs in regards to marriage, which everybody accepted 10 to 15 years ago.
So
that's not a crazy conspiracy theory. If you're going to sit here and say that me believing a woman should take a man's last name in marriage makes me the most dangerous man in the world, then you're just going to lose even more credibility.
If your man's cheating, it's because you ain't looking after him right. So you can stop going on Facebook with all these other dickhead girls below. I know, I can't believe it. My man cheated too. Because you're all low quality pieces of shit. If your man does cheat, the most stupid thing you can do is leave him. You're going to leave the man you love. The man you were head over heels in love with. You're going to leave him and find another man who you don't love, who's still gonna cheat on you because you're still a trash bitch.
All these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there, bored, completely in love with me. And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out. You stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You're not, no restaurants, no clubs, nothing.
At least I love him. He cheats on me, but I love him and I stick by him anyway. Now you're starting to fucking sound like a real woman.
You see, it's just an example of just being disingenuous in this whole thing, because that's not what she said at all. In fact, you very much ignored all the things she said about why she's even here. You ignored the instances where she mentioned emotional manipulation, the stuff that had come out of your mouth, the stuff from your website, and now you're talking about now you've just brought it down to, oh, because I said women should have the last names of their husbands, like I'm evil now. When you know damn fucking well that if you were preaching that women should carry the last names of their husband, you wouldn't be here. That just wouldn't be a thing. You know, other people think that too. They're not under investigation for sex trafficking. But Andrew Tate and the BBC think he's the most dangerous man in the world because that's what he thinks. You know, he thinks that women should also have the last names of their husbands. That's what he preaches. That's all that he preaches. And that's why everybody's coming after him, because he preaches that.
then you're just going to lose even more credibility than the BBC's already lost in the last 4 to 5 years. If that's your point, if that's your narrative you want to push,
say that
good
men
luck.
should be able to sleep with a lot of women outside marriage. That doesn't sound very religious or very conservative.
That's not what I said they should be able to. I said a lot of high-value men, a lot of rich men do it. And then we discussed at length on podcasts why rich men do it. And we also discussed why women decide to be unfaithful. It's not a gendered argument. We discussed unfaithfulness as a whole. What are the reasons and motivations for men, and what are the reasons and motivations for women? Because you have no time to actually, watch my content, because you have no time to actually watch my content at length and understand what I'm saying, you just come here with a small snippet which has been provided to you on a piece of paper.
Saying it 3 times doesn't make it true.
No, completely. You don't have a girl who's a solid 9 or a 10 who will ignore all the famous people, who will be loyal to you even though you're not physically loyal to her, who will obey you, who will cook, who will clean, who will do as you say, who will let you lead. But you're never going to get there unless you tear through a whole bunch of girls.
But are you loyal?
Let's not pretend that male loyalty and female loyalty are the same thing. He's also saying that if a man did decide to explore his options, it would not be as disgusting as if a female decided to explore options.
Okay, well, let it just be disgusting then.
No. It's different if a woman does it. It's different if a woman does it. Everyone watching this knows it's different if a woman cheats. It's different.
What kind of relationship do you have with your mother?
The girl comes at you, you cheater, you're cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and then grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up,
1920.
I want the younger she is, and the younger and the more beautiful she is, the less men she slept with. If a woman's only been with a few guys, she's much more likely to fall in love with you, be a better partner, etc.
Oh, so you're afraid of losing?
Not afraid.
The older one.
Okay,
You don't
first,
like to lose
whoa.
it.
Use the word afraid.
Small clips on a piece of paper, and you're trying to pretend I've said evil things. And then you're going to say I'm the most dangerous man in the world, which is truly laughable.
You said that, not me.
Okay. Do you believe I'm the most dangerous man in the world, Lucy?
I'm not answering your questions.
Well, then we need to change the dynamic of this interview because, and I'll make this clear, I allowed you into my home. I'm doing you a favor, giving you the first interview I'm giving to the public. You don't come here with a position of authority. You're not the police. I don't respect the BBC. I don't know you. You do not come here with a position of authority over me. We are equals. We are people. We're citizens of the world, and we sit here as equals. And I see you as my equal, and if you ask me questions, I can ask you questions back. For you to come here and sit down and pretend you're the Gestapo, and that you don't have to answer my questions, is disingenuous because I don't owe you anything.
Asking questions and you answer.
But I don't owe you any degree of authority over me. So let's make that clear. And that doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or from the BBC or the CNN. I'm here to answer your questions and be honest with you and do you a favor.
Great.
And I'm doing you a favor. But you come here with loaded questions. You're trying to paint a narrative of me which is negative.
I'm asking you
And
about
that's
things
fine.
you've said that people are concerned about.
And that's fine.
You
But
have
you're not
said
going to sit here and say
a
you don't answer my questions because you're not above me.
This is also not supposed to be a third degree. It's supposed to be a conversation.
Absolutely.
Well, it would help if you answered the question.
I've answered every question so far.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
You have said that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner, and if she goes on OnlyFans, he is entitled to a cut of her income.
You are extremely, it's very confusing to me why you're going to sit here, take long format podcasts I've done, which are 3 or 4 hours long, in context where I've sat with OnlyFans girls, 10 or 15 OnlyFans girls, where we've been joking back and forth, ignore every comment and satirical comment and sarcastic comment that the females have made, and then come along and say, you said this, and you're the most evil man in the world. I don't know if you understand what sarcasm is. I don't know if you understand what sarcasm is. I don't know if you understand what context is. I don't know if you understand what satirical comments are.
So you're saying it was sarcastic?
I'm saying it was a very interesting talk show. And
You say a lot of stuff about women like that they're your property.
I said that if a woman is going out with a man, she belongs to that man. That's his woman. So if she wants to do OnlyFans, she owes him some money because she's his.
What about the other way around?
In a relationship, and if she wants to sell those, he has a stake in those parts of her body.
So it's reverse. Male porn star owes the woman.
I don't know, because I think the women belong to the man. I think the woman.
That's inherently where you get.
And is it just me or is Tate sounding a little bitchy? A little bit bitchy here, you know? Because I feel like she's being very calm, you know, she's chilling throughout, asking him questions. And these are not loaded. These are, you know, she's saying, yo, you said this, my guy. So explain. And he's going, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the people saying good things about me, though. And she's going, I mean, no, this is an interview. You're on, you know, under investigation for some serious things. Let's talk about what's led to that. And he's going, no, it's not true. It's just not true. And then he fucking starts leaning forward, going, oh, I'm inviting you into my house. You know, you're not supposed to have any authority over me. I'm supposed to be, you know, having this and that. And I'm here to stay. Ooh. And you know, he's the one leaning forward talking about, I've invited you into my house. You don't have any authority over me. It's like, we are equals in this. We are partnerships. And It's like, bro, you've not answered any single one of her questions. Instead, you keep on deflecting. You've literally deflected every single question. You've got your weird little fucking Naruto pose that you're always doing. Your legs are shaking 24/7. It kind of seems like you're nervous, my guy. It's maybe you felt like this interview was not the smartest thing to do, because I don't understand how you could possibly come out of this interview looking better or looking good. I mean, the only people that I can see eating this up is going to be your fan base. And it's funny, man, because wasn't his webcam business literally just him taking a cut off girls who were doing sex work? I mean, that was a transaction, but except that was a transactional business relationship, whereas what she's talking about, he was saying that in the context of, yeah, in a relationship, if your girl does OnlyFans, you're entitled to a cut of that. That's also a transactional business relationships. See, this is what I mean when I say this guy does not actually, like, the stuff that he's supposedly preaching, he's not actually living or doing any of it. Because on one hand, you're trying to talk about, fulfilling relationships. You're preaching men this. You're telling men how to be fulfilling, how to be like that. But at the same time, you're telling what you're showing men is, by the way, this is how to completely fuck up any relationship that you want to be in. Demand that if your girl is on OnlyFans, demand that you get the, like, we got to understand, Andrew Tate came up in the webcam industry. To him, women are nothing more than transactional means. That's it. So that's why he's trying to preach this whole relationship shit, saying if your girl is in, does an OnlyFans, you need to demand that you take percentage of her cuts, this and that. But instead of preaching that, okay, number one, if you don't want a girl that has an OnlyFans, don't date a girl with an OnlyFans, right? And number two, if your girl does have an OnlyFans, that's up to her. That's up to her. You're not her pimp. It's like, you can't fucking demand that you get a cut of that because she's on OnlyFans. You're not a pimp. See, that's, to him, it's a business transaction. That's why he's teaching these men the wrong things. So when he's saying shit like that, it's not satirical, because to him, that's what his relationships operated on. Like, we've already seen it where he said he would bring these girls over and then he would get his girlfriend to convince the other girls that they can all make money together if she starts doing shit on webcam. She gets into the webcam industry and then that they all start making money, and he's got about 20 girlfriends all doing the same thing. He's on record saying that. So that, to him, that's relationships.
To me, why you're going to sit here, take long format podcasts I've done, which are 3 or 4 hours long, in context where I've sat with OnlyFans girls, 10 or 15 OnlyFans girls, where we've been joking back and forth, ignore every said. You understand?
Sarcastic.
I'm saying it was a very interesting talk show, and for you to sit here and say that is my true core beliefs and that makes me a bad person is disingenuous.
Is it?
Of course not.
Was it sarcasm?
Absolutely. You should watch the show.
You were being sarcastic when you said... Let me just clarify.
You should watch the show.
Let me clarify for the audience. You were being sarcastic when you said a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner.
No.
You didn't believe that.
No, it's not that. It's that you haven't watched the show at length, and you should have, because the woman was saying, my man's car belongs to me because he's my man. And she was on OnlyFans. And then 20 minutes later, when she said she was on OnlyFans, I said, well, you're selling your body, that belongs to him because he's your man. And she laughed. She laughed and she said, yeah, that's probably true. If you watch the show, it will make sense. For you to come here with doing no research at all and then say, I don't understand what I'm talking about, but I've got this piece of paper with a few things printed off, that's why you're saying the silly things you're saying. You should watch the show, do some research.
Do you believe it?
You already answered.
I've already answered the question.
Not really.
Of course I have. Can we move on? I've answered the question.
Do you believe that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner?
Of course not. I've just answered the question.
You just answered that. We've
done that 3 times.
And does this woman believe that her man's car belongs to her? It's not a gendered argument. I really think that it's genuinely sad that when the BBC has a chance to finally interview me at the end of all this Matrix attack, that they don't come here with any kind of genuine openness to try and understand my influence over the world, or the things I push, or what I'm trying to teach the world, or why I'm a good influence on the world, because I am a massively good influence. Instead, they come here with pieces of paper with printed out excerpts from 5-year-old podcasts, taken out of context, to attempt the same Matrix attack on me, which has been attempted endlessly. Every single person in Legacy Media has already tried this, and it doesn't work. I really encourage you I encourage you to read the comment section on YouTube when this goes on YouTube, and you will see that nobody believes a word you're saying.
The
This is
reason we're
garbage.
asking you about these comments is because we've got the chief executive of Rape Crisis naming you individually as spreading a dangerous ideology of misogynistic rape culture.
Absolute.
It's the comments you make that are leading people to say things like
Absolute garbage.
National organisations who are saying that, are blaming you for increasing levels of misogyny. Schools that are saying they are having increased incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being harassed.
If that was
by
true,
pupils,
because
of you and your teaching.
well,
and
that's absolute garbage. I have never ever encouraged a student to attack a teacher, male or female, ever. I preach hard work, discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drug. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with modern society, I'm against. I'm teaching young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen, to train, to work hard, to be exactly like me, with no criminal record, never even yet charged in this 14-month Matrix investigation. And I'm saying that if men grew up like me, which are hardworking and diligent and some emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing, that if men grew up like me, which are hardworking and diligent and some emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing nation, which has knife crime going through the roof, violence going through the roof, men's mental health going through the roof, and they're going to all blame me because I appeared on the internet 1 year ago, is disingenuous. It's disingenuous.
Use
And also,
financial success
correct.
with a Bugatti and a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
How does having a Bugatti and a cigar come with misogyny?
Because it's all mixed together in what you teach. You teach that if a woman comes home and accuses you of cheating, you should hit her with a machete, shove her off.
Is that what I teach?
That's what you say.
No, if you actually watch the clip, it will be about the woman attacking me with a machete. As usual, you've not watched the video, taken it out of context, flipped it, and attempted to attack me with a small excerpt. Let me tell you something, Lucy. I'm sure you're very nice. If a girl comes at you, you cheated, you're cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and then grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up!
See, this is what I mean, because he's just gonna lie. He's just gonna lie. We just saw the clip. Yes, it's a woman coming at him with a machete, but he still very much fantasized about hitting her in the clip. He grabs her by the neck, slaps her across the face. That's in the clip. That is in the clip. So, and the craziness is, it's not even a real scenario. He made that up. It's not like, oh yeah, he got caught cheating and then she came at him and he had to defend himself. No. He just completely made up a hypothetical scenario in his head of what he would do if he cheated and then his other half or whatever got angry and came at him with a machete. He would slap her up, fling the machete out of her hand, grab her by the neck, and then fucking whatever that means.
Something, Lucy, I'm sure you're a very nice person. I'm sure you're a fantastic person, but if I were to take everything you've ever said online and just take small excerpts out of context, I could make you look like a misogynist. I guarantee it. In fact, I might actually do that. And then you're going to sit here and say, oh shit, I'm a misogynist because my clips have been taken out of context. If you refuse to watch anything at length and understand it, then that's what's going to happen.
The National Police Chiefs Lead for Violence Against Women, the NSPCC, National Police Chiefs Lead for Violence Against Women, the NSPCC, Rape Crisis, Safer Schools, they are all naming you as being behind an epidemic of misogyny, even amongst primary school children.
The idea that I made primary school children misogynistic because I own a nice car. Is that your argument?
It's the misogyny that comes along with it.
Oh, owning a nice car is misogynist.
No, it's the misogyny that comes along with it.
How does misogyny come along with owning a nice car?
Because you have an image of financial
I'm glad you're answering my questions now. We finally got the dynamic.
You have an image of financial
success. She's answering my
success.
questions, as she should.
Excuse me. You have an image of financial success, but it comes along with attitudes towards women that are really problematic.
My attitudes towards women is that women should be protected and provided for, and I've said that at length. In fact, I've said that over 50 times online, you never mention it. I say that my girlfriend doesn't have to work unless she wants to, I take care of her, I die to protect a woman. I've talked about how I've stood up and faced a knife to protect a woman.
And in return, you want authority over her in the way you have over a child or a dog.
Absolutely not. I've said that women should be protected and provided for.
And in return, you want authority over her, because if you have responsibility for someone like a child or a dog, you say, you have authority over them.
She's good, bro. She's fucking good. She's good. That's the nail on the head. You know, when a guy puts so much value on himself protecting his woman, like she's some fucking baby, that's what they usually mean. That's what they usually mean. That's what they usually mean. They don't mean, oh yeah, I want to protect you. They mean, I want to control you. Like, I want to control what you do. You're talking about another human being. You're not talking about a pet. You're not talking about a fucking idiot who just doesn't know anything. You're talking about someone who you are supposed to be seeing as your equal, whether that be your wife, your girl, whatever. Not someone that, you know, you're there to be the Superman in their life while they just, you know, they cower in the background and they just do everything for you because you're the man and you need to take charge. And it's like, you know, she just needs to just follow your lead because you know everything as the man.
For someone like a child or a dog, you say, you have authority over them.
If you want to go down this argument, we'll go down this nuanced argument. I said that if I have responsibility for her safety, I should have a degree of authority over her safety. Meaning, and let me explain my point. If I'm the one who has to fight and die to protect her, I'm the one who decides how we walk home. I'm the one who decides the route we take. Because it's unfair for her to say, I want to walk through the most dangerous neighborhood in the world, but you have to face the knives. That's what I've said. And then you're going to sit here and pretend that I'm trying to treat women like dogs, which is garbage. Every single man in the world who loves this woman understands that he has to protect her. And every single woman in the world likes the idea of a man who would protect her. If you were to say to most women home right now, do you want your husband to protect you in a violent attack? They'd say, yeah, of course. Nothing I've said is misogynistic.
If you said to most women, would you want to lose authority in the relationship, to not be treated as a free and legal equal to your partner?
I didn't say that. I said I need to have authority over the route we walk home.
When you compare women and the authority over women that you believe you should have to having authority over a child or a dog, it's not the same because a woman is a free, legal adult.
Correct.
You're equal.
Free, legal adult, my equal. But if I had a girlfriend and we were walking home late at night and I said, let's not walk down that area, it's a bad area, I have to protect you if anything happens, I want to take the long way. And she said, no, I have to walk this way, even though it's the most dangerous route, I must.
Then what?
And then I would say, you're welcome to, you could do it, you're a free and legal equal, but I'm not going to walk with you and protect you. I think that I should be able to decide the route because I have an obligation. And my obligation as a man is to protect and provide for females. Everything I'm talking about is
Here we go again. It's these stupid hypotheticals that these guys always bring up. I hear it all the time. Oh, you know this 1 in a million chance that someone attacks us on the street while we're just randomly walking out of nowhere? Or that 1 in a million chance that your girl for some reason is stupid enough that she wants to walk down a dark, dangerous alley instead of the other way? You know what I'm saying? It's like these situations that will just never happen, but these guys will use it as a way of saying, yeah, but if this was to happen, who'd be the one to protect you? Like if a random guy was to just break into this house right now, who'd be the protector? Who'd be Superman? Me, because I'm the man and I'd be Superman. That means I need to have a degree of authority over you in everything you do, because if anything was to happen, who'd protect you? Me.
Is traditional gender roles, which 10 years ago, less than 10 years ago, would not be considered outlandish, would not be considered crazy, would not be considered dangerous or misogynistic. The world has changed, and a lot of people haven't changed with the world. Please understand there's a lot of women at home watching this right now who like the idea of their man sticking up for them, protecting them, and providing for them. And just because the world has gone crazy and the legacy media has gone crazy, most people at home are still relatively sane. And these are the people who are going to write on the comments that Andrew wasn't saying anything that's outlandish.
See, you see what he did there? You see what he did there? The world has changed now. Of course the world has changed now. Women are in education, women are getting jobs, women are doing this to all this type of shit where they don't really need a man the same way that they did 80 years ago. Do you know what I mean? And that's what a lot of these men now can't handle, because now they don't know how to maneuver this thing. And of course, there should be a lot more help for men in order to how to maneuver this new kind of world where it's not just enough now to just have money, where you can just fling money at a woman and she's gonna fucking rely and depend on you now, because now women are earning more than men. So it's like you need a lot more than that. You need to actually be emotionally intelligent, be a good communicator, all these extra little things now that will actually make you interesting to a woman, rather than just having money and just being a man, a protector. But Andrew Tate still teaches the same fucking shit that they were teaching fucking to the men in the 20s, the 1920s, talking about that. But it's like those kinds of messages allowed for a lot of fucked up things to go on within relationships. Those kinds of messages allowed a lot of men to feel entitled to their wives, feel entitled to the women that they were getting with, things like that. So that's why people are saying these messages that you're spreading are inherently wrong, because you're teaching guys the wrong fucking values and you're making a lot of men feel entitled to these things.
I don't know why I told you. Same as fine. I told you. They come in, they smile, they shake their hands, and then they read one fucking line excerpts from Black.
It's fine.
Nah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your boy Andrew Tate is looking nervous. His face is fucking twitching all over the place. His leg is uncontrollably shaking right now. He's looking everywhere in the room. I think that's Tristan. I think it was his brother Tristan in the background telling him he shouldn't have done this. I think that's Tristan in the background telling him he shouldn't have done this.
If a man broke into your house, wouldn't you want your husband to protect you?
There's a difference between conservative values and emotional control, coercive control.
We're talking about protection now, and I'm saying if someone broke into your house, would you want your husband to protect you?
It's not about conservative values or protection, it's what you're demanding in return for that.
Well, I'll give you this. I don't know who your husband is. I don't know if he would stand up to protect you or die for you, but I'll give you this. If someone broke into this house right now and was a homicidal maniac, I would expect me and the other men in this room to stand up and face them while you and the other women in this room could protect yourselves. I would actually believe the men should go.
It's the age-old argument of, yo, you know that 0.1% chance that if someone, a homicidal maniac, was to break into this room, who'd be the one to protect you? I hear it so many times. It's like, oh yeah, if we were walking on the street and someone just decided they want to fight, who'd be the one to protect you? Me. So because I'm the one that, as the man, I'm the one who would need to protect you in this one-off scenario that might never fucking happen, right? Because I'm the one that's going to protect you. I'm owed some degree of authority over you. Do you see how that it's like, it doesn't make sense because you're putting all these fucking stupid hypotheticals that might never fucking happen in your life, and you're using that to say, yeah, but if this was to happen, who'd be the one to be there to protect you? Me, the man. That means I, as the man, demand this and that and this and that. Otherwise what? You're not going to protect them anymore? Nice one.
You and the other women in this room could protect yourselves. I would actually believe the men should go and engage the attacker. I believe that. And even though I don't know you, and you've come into my house with a hostile agenda, and you've come here to try and make me look bad, I would still stand up to protect you. I would still stand up to protect you because I believe that's my role as a man.
I am asking you about things that you have said that have caused major national organizations, including the police, to worry about you by name. That's what I'm asking you about.
It's not what I say.
It's not about whether you protect your partner or not. It's about what you have said that has caused such concern in the UK. And I want to put it to you that you don't really care about the harm it causes.
That's not true.
Because
that's not true.
Making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
Okay, so first thing, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction of God to do good things, and I want to make the world a better place.
Oof. Oh, we've heard that one before. How well has it turned out in history when a man goes, I am acting under the instructions of God.
Legacy is a good legacy, and I believe that eventually when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money, because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs, or I could make rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all the drill artists do.
Or you could make controversial statements online that attract a lot of followers who you then direct to your website.
I could make...
Nah, it's like I said, who is this woman, bro? She is good. It's like she's not even piping up or nothing. Like, Andrew Tate can shout as much as he wants, do what he wants. But bro, she hit the nail on the head. Or you can make controversial statements online to funnel all these fucking young men into your course, get them to pay for the most basic ass fucking programs that they can learn online for free. You make a lot of money, and these young men that are looking for something to belong to now feel like they're part of something.
Tell me why you joined. Your other friend said he joined. It changed his life.
I joined too, by the way. I can tell you why I joined too.
Have you made more than you invested?
Yeah, duh.
So is it a good investment?
Duh, I made money. I made loads.
How are you making money? By selling the book or what?
I don't want to.
How are you making the money?
Don't worry about how we're making our money. Join the program.
You got to sign up to see.
That's right.
Bro, this is such a scam, brother.
I joined. I was like, dad broke. I joined. That guy even broker. So I don't know what the fuck. Like, what the fuck? I joined and got broker.
I want to hear it. What did you do? You make it bread how?
Find out. We're gonna give it away for free.
I can't just say that. That's towards him. I can't just give out his sauce.
So did you get a job or are you selling the book? What are you doing?
I didn't have to get a job.
So no job.
Okay, so how did you do
not selling the book? So did you make money appear? Like, what are you doing? You're saying weed?
So if you want to buy that, just join, bro.
Just sign up.
That's all. You just gotta sign up, bro.
Sign up. It's $50. Don't be tight.
You will never achieve anything without me. That's why you need Hustlers University in the War Room. You need us. I don't need you. If you don't join, do I stop being rich? No. I don't care if you join or not. You need me. That's what Hustlers University is about, because I'm the only person out here who teaches people how to get fucking rich. I do that on purpose because I want rich people around me, because when the battle comes, when the Satan returns to Earth and I need to make the battle call to the War Room soldiers, I ain't got time for no brokies.
Sure. I mean, I could make jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a joke online.
Are you saying that all the controversial things you've said are jokes?
No, I'm saying that these organizations and the BBC who are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage. It's completely disingenuous. And the reason.
I'm sorry. We have agreed to do an interview where you are going to ask questions that are going to give us the opportunity to clarify some things. These are very loaded questions.
Sorry.
And so far, I'm sorry, I have arranged this and I'm talking right now. So, these are very loaded questions, and this is not what we discussed, and this is not the conversation that we agreed to.
We were very clear that the questions
You're sitting there and just accusing, we're not here to face new allegations. This has all been discussed, answers have been provided, so if we could please move on from this side of the interview, I would appreciate it.
I would like to hear what Andrew's got to say about the fact that when you make controversial statements, it attracts people to follow you, and then you direct them to your website where they pay you a monthly fee to learn how to be like you. And so the more controversial statements you make, the more money you get.
The fact that that's the path you've outlined to, one, my online university, and two, my presence on the internet, the fact that you believe that's the path just shows you've done absolutely zero research. Genuinely zero research.
Okay, so how many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media?
Genuinely zero research.
How many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media where you direct them to the website?
And Lucy, I encourage you to go out there, do some genuine research, watch my videos.
Brother, answer the fucking question, man. Like, it's not outlandish to say that the shit you say on social media has drawn attention to you and your brand, and you use that to promote your course. If you go on Twitter right now, all Andrew Tate promotes is his fucking course, The Real World. If you go on, that's what he's all about. The Real World. All of this shit is to get people there. And the fact that he can't even just admit it in this interview because he knows that his audience watching it are just gonna go, wait, am I part of like Andrew Tate's like plan to just make money? No way. He's helping me. He must be helping me. Of course he's helping me because he's the top G. Like, remember when you couldn't escape like seeing Andrew Tate on TikTok? Do you know why that is? It's because the people that were registering to his Hustlers University, I think it was like on a commission-based system where they would basically spread Andrew Tate footage all across social media. That's why you saw so many TikToks of this guy, because there were so many accounts. And there were so many Andrew Tate accounts because they were all people that were with Hustlers University, and they were basically trying to get more people to sign on to Hustlers University. So it was like a little, you could say, a pyramid scheme in the way it works, because you sign up for it, right? You start promoting his content. The more people that sign off your link, you get a percentage of that, and then they now have to do the same thing. So it's like a little, and it all gets funneled to the top man, which is Andrew Tate.
Anybody who buys into Hustlers University is given the opportunity to become an affiliate for the course. As an affiliate, you make 50% of anybody else you refer to the program. So Tate is at the top, people below paid full price. They make 50% from the people they refer. They make 50% from the people they refer. You see what I'm saying? And the course is all about making money online. And one of the primary methods that they teach is cutting up clips of Tate to use across social media to drive traffic as an affiliate marketer to the course. So through doing this, Tate has created an army of people who are pushing his content because they're financially motivated to do so.
One of the ways students of Hustlers University have been able to make their money is through their affiliate program, which has apparently been closed for a little while, according to them. Originally, it was to promote Tate and the course through the means of viral clips uploaded to TikTok and YouTube. So if you were wondering why Andrew was literally all over your For You page, it's because of these affiliates with an affiliate link in their bio. So we get left with an entire empire of Tate Stan accounts peddling spliced up shorts of our top G alpha king to the masses, generating millions of impressions based off how extreme he is. And
so now you can imagine why a whole bunch of these clips were so controversial, because obviously the more controversial these clips were, the more people had eyes on him. right? So people would deliberately go get the most controversial things he said, you know, post it, because he was saying these things. So these were all things that he said. So they'd post it, and then the more controversial it got, maybe the more clicks on the link, the more money these people would make. So it became like a business plan that Andrew Tate was more than aware of. Because it was him promoting these things. You know, that was the whole fucking Hustlers University model. So that's how they kept getting more and more people, and more of his content kept being shared about.
And truly understand what I'm doing.
How many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University at $49.99 a month come to you because they see your social media comments?
There's an online school called Hustlers University, which I don't own. I influence for, along with many other influencers, and they sign up via a website which I don't own. And once again, that's nothing to do with me. And you're going to sit here and say that I made a joke. I made a joke online 4 years ago because a woman said that she owned her man's car, and you made a joke, and that means that you, because you have a Bugatti, are the most misogynistic, dangerous man in the world. This is going down a path of absolute insanity. It's not true. None of this is true. I don't hurt people. I don't harm people. I'm genuinely a positive influence.
You are renowned.
I'm renowned
for offensive and controversial.
That's not why I'm renowned. I'm actually renowned. I'm actually renowned for helping young men, because we talk about there's a men's mental health crisis, and we pretend to care that men are upset. But as soon as I discuss men's issues, it's misogynistic. It doesn't have to be gendered. Just because I believe men have a point of view and men have rights and men are allowed to think and believe and act a certain way. The hallmark of being a man is the ability to restrict your emotions. The difference between a man and a woman is that you suppress your emotions.
Smartest people in the world are men.
Proven how?
Dude, read the study.
What study, bro?
Google it.
I'm going to Google it. Every single study says there's no difference.
If you were to look up the highest IQs in the world, the first 10, first 20, look them up. Are they men or women? I haven't done this. Look it up.
I did highest IQ in the world. Literally what comes up. Marilyn von Savant has one of the world's highest IQs. She is known as the smartest person in the world.
Cool. Then all right, cool. Then I'm totally wrong. I never even said.
This is what I hate, man. He's trying to use the whole mental health crisis on men as a way to justify his existence type of shit. And that's just, there is a mental health crisis with men, don't get me wrong. That is definitely a real thing that needs to be addressed. Andrew Tate is not the one addressing it. Do not get it twisted. Andrew Tate is not helping these men. He's teaching these men terrible values that are going to lead to destructive tendencies later on down in their life. That's why people have a problem with it. It's like you flaunt your Bugatti, you flaunt all these materialistic things, you call these men brokies, you call them worthless, you tell them that where they're at in life right now is not good. They need to be like this, they need to be like that. And you think telling men all of this, a lot of obviously insecure men that don't feel like they're worth anything, telling these people all of this is gonna motivate them. You literally preach a philosophy to these men that they need to be stoic, they need to bottle it up and just do what they need to do for the good of the household, the good of the family. They just need to just suck it up because all men need to go through hardship, all men need to do this. Or, you know, if you've not, like, I've even seen him say shit like, if you've never had a fight before, you're not a real man. And it's like, shut up, man. Are you fucking 12 years old? And that's because Andrew Tate just simply doesn't have a good woman in his life. I mean, bro, he's surrounded by 20 fucking webcam escorts and he calls them his girlfriends. This is the man you lot are taking advice from? The man that's almost 40 years old but has never known love his entire life. Let's be real. This is a man that has 4 kids outside of marriage, yet he's preaching about... This is a man with 4 kids outside of marriage, yet he's constantly preaching about, oh yeah, you know, women that are ran through. I need my girl to be 18, 19 years old. I can't be with an older woman because she's had too much dick. And it's like, bro, you have 4 kids outside of marriage. You're not preaching. You're not living anything you preach. Like, the guy doesn't... he just wants people to idolize him. That's it. He just wants people to idolize him, and he's gonna keep targeting different demographics. He's gonna keep going after different demographics because people within those demographics are gonna be stupid enough to actually listen to the things he says and take his word for it. But it's just, once again, slimy that he's trying to spin this all into trying to say that he's, you know, he's the supreme champion for men's mental health, when the stuff that he constantly preaches is not really about uplifting men. It's more so just making men feel secure while demonizing women.
Men's issues. It's misogynistic. It doesn't have to be gendered.
Just because I believe men have a point of view and men have rights and men are allowed to think and believe and act a certain way that helps them internally, that doesn't mean it's anti-female. In fact, I believe it's actually pro-female. I think when a man is true to his influence and true to his essence and he's good within himself, he's a positive influence in the world and he's positive for the women around him.
So
just because I discuss men's issues, people say, oh, you're anti-woman. I'm not anti-woman, I love women.
Why are so many women saying that when their boyfriends start following you,
they're not.
They experience more control.
So many.
They experience
How many?
more abuse.
How many?
Enough.
Well, this is the first time I've heard of it. So, in fact...
One is too many.
Oh, of course, yeah. So, in fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments and have endless emails from women praising the fact that their sons are listening to me, praising the fact that their husbands.
The things I'm saying, does it not worry you?
It would worry. It would
You're
worry.
not concerned about
it. It would worry me if I was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you become the most Googled man in the world. You have billions of views, and one is now saying that her husband is not the same man she wants him to be. When thousands and thousands of people are saying the opposite, well, then I would say
I've
that's.
presented you with case after case after case, with quote after quote after quote of people who are genuinely concerned about the impact you're having, and you brush it off as if it's nothing.
No, what you have done is come here with an agenda. You've come here with loaded questions. You've come here with things taken out of context. You come here with things that you don't understand are satirical. And then you're going to also sit and say that one woman said that her boyfriend changed when he watched one of your videos. And then I don't know what you expect me to say to that. That's
sarcastic and jokes.
No.
That's how you explain the comments you make.
For you to sit down.
Would you like to apologise for any of them?
For you to sit down. For you to sit down. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's easy. For you to sit down and say that one woman said that her boyfriend watched an Andrew Tate video and now he won't do the dishes, or whatever your argument is, and that I'm somehow the worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car. It's just disingenuous, and I'm enjoying this interview very much because this shows the world. It's great. It shows the world the truth about the legacy media because they beg me for interviews. They beg me. You have been begging me for months. Please, we need to be relevant. And then you come here with loaded questions trying to paint a picture of me, which is completely and utterly false. I am a good positive influence for the world. The things I teach men are stoicism, discipline, self-respect, hard work, obeying authority, listening to your fight coach, working hard in school, making as much money as possible in your job. If you actually watch the things I say, if you actually watch my comments about women, I've done long podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe a woman should be treated in a relationship. I've done all of this, but you don't watch any of it, and then you come here and ask me to answer questions I've answered at length thousands of times.
Since you came out of custody, there seems to have been a lot about your charity work.
Correct.
On your social
There's
media.
I've always done the charity work, but now I'm promoting it.
There seems to be a real shift.
Yeah.
I wonder what's behind that.
Well, I've always done the charity work. I've been doing the charity work for years. I believe that it's my legacy to leave a positive influence on the world, and I've been doing charity work for over 5 years. Post my incarceration, my unfair, unjust incarceration, may I add. Post that, I've made it more clear the charity work I'm doing. But this is, once again, very interesting. I spend $25 million a year feeding children. Men, male children, and female children. In Turkey, in Syria, in Iran, and Iraq. I literally spend $25 million a year feeding children. And I'm still the worst.
Listen, what are you doing, my guy? Like, yeah, you can come on and say all these things. You spend $25 million a year feeding children. Of course you do, bro. Of course you do.
And I'm still the worst man in the world because 4 years ago I made a sarcastic comment?
Because some people would look at that and say, okay, so before you got money from attracting people to your website by making controversial comments, but that might have got you into trouble. And so now you're looking for a new market. You're looking for a new market of followers who are attracted by a different sort of persona.
I've always done the charity work, so that is obviously incorrect. And I have proof that I've always done the charity work, so you're wrong, firstly. I believe that if you have a lot of wealth, you should help people, and I'm helping people. I also think it's very, very interesting that you cannot find another celebrity in the UK or anywhere else who's spending £25 million a year feeding children in war-torn countries. I'm doing that, and I've been doing that for a long time without even mentioning it. I never even said it. And now that I've said it, people are going to attack me for it and say that it's disingenuous. The person in Sudan who's eating the meal, do you think they believe it's disingenuous? No, I think they feel pretty good that Andrew Tate fed them. And to sit here and say that I'm a bad person now because I'm manipulating charity, because I'm using charity, I'm just trying to do good in the world. That's all I've ever been trying to do.
When women speak out against you online, disagree with what you say, they describe being bombarded with rape threats, with death threats, trolling by your followers. Would you like to say anything to your followers about how to behave in that situation?
Absolutely, correct. I would love to do that. First things first, I've yet to see a female stand up and argue with me online. I don't ever see hardly any. Although only women who message me agree with me.
Women aren't as big as me. You're like a 55-kilo female. I will pick you up with one hand, body slam your ass. And when I'm standing on top of you, and you're like, and I'm grabbing you by your neck, and you've learned, I learned in self-defense. When he grabs me by my neck, what I do is I get my fingers in. Yeah, but you know what they didn't teach you in self-defense? Here's a little move. When I grab you by your neck and you start annoying me, trying to resist.
Secondly, I don't think that anybody who disagrees with me, male or female, should be trolled. I don't think they should be insulted or attacked. I think the ideas should be discussed openly and fairly and maturely. It doesn't matter if a man agrees with me or disagrees with me, or a female. I don't think my followers should come along and attack her, and if my followers are doing that, I'm upset by that. But let's make a very important clarification. That's not my followers. That's the internet. If you were to log into any video game lobby, I don't play video games, and someone were to sit there and say something stupid, they would be trolled with similar comments. That's the unfortunate reality of the internet as a whole. That's nothing to do with me. But I encourage all of my followers to engage in open discourse and be fair and honest and talk in a way which is mature. There's no need to troll anybody, male or female.
Yeah, but when you're online, you know, simulating hypothetical acts of violence towards women, when you're online saying things like women need to be like this, women need to be like that, when you're online fucking talking about how a man can cheat but a woman cannot, when you're online talking about a woman's worth is her body count, when you're saying all of these things to your young impressionable fans, what do you think their perception of women is going to be? But obviously Andrew Tate is not going to take any accountability for any of this shit. He's not going to, even though he said it. He's the one who perpetuated this culture.
Have multiple partners, but a female that was with you couldn't also have multiple partners?
I would personally find that revolting, correct? But there are women who find what I say revolting. I think if a man is not sexually exclusive, it's not the same as if a woman is, because with a woman you have the paternity issue. With a man you don't have a paternity issue. If I have 3 girlfriends and they all get pregnant, we know who the mother and who the father is. If you have 1 woman and 3 men, you don't know who even the parents are if she got pregnant.
Yeah, you could definitely figure that out.
DNA tests are pretty accessible nowadays.
Of course, yeah, that's exactly it. So I said science can step in and fix it, but that doesn't mean it's not haram and against the will of God. Look, read the Bible. Every single man had multiple wives. Not a single woman had multiple husbands. It's against the will of God. It's disgusting.
Okay. So just to put on the record then, you've said that you've invited us into your house.
Correct.
We're here because you're under house arrest.
Correct.
If you were free to leave, we would have negotiated a more neutral setting.
Don't you think, as the BBC, it would be very interesting to come here and discuss the fact that I was put in a dungeon for 92 days and then locked in house arrest without charge? Don't you think that's a far more interesting conversation than old YouTube snippets? Don't you think that would be interesting?
You're here under house arrest because there's an ongoing investigation into rape and human trafficking allegations against you.
Correct. I've been incarcerated without charge. And don't you think
the rape allegation
it's been dropped?
Has been incarcerated for.
Correct. So I'm incarcerated without charge, and I think that would be a far more interesting conversation than, I guess, Julian Assange is incarcerated without charge, and nobody's interested in that either. So if you actually wanted to do some genuine journalism and investigation, we could talk about the fact that an innocent man who has yet to be charged with a crime has had his liberty deprived of him. Romania is a beautiful place. There's no feminists. There's no open homosexuality. It's corrupt, which suits me because I'm f***ing rich. Excuse me, you were speeding. Yeah, sorry, mate. What's I have to pay a fine? Yes, you must pay a fine. Oh, okay, yeah, bye. Speed off. He doesn't care. I don't care. Back done. It's corrupt, which I fucking love. No immigrants and refugees.
And she said herself at the start of the interview exactly what the fuck she was going to talk about. And not once did she say she was going to talk about how you were kept for 180 days in a dungeon.
We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
It's complete rubbish because he moved to Romania. He's on video bragging about how lax and how corrupt Romania is. He can get away with the money. He doesn't have to worry about the Me Too movement. In his words, he can be free to do whatever he likes, right? According to Romanian law, someone can be detained for 180 days, specifically because of that same corruption that Andrew Tate is talking about. They're allowed to keep you for 180 days so you don't tamper with the investigation, because what tends to happen in Romania is people go missing, Like, Romania is corrupt. You're not the first person that this has happened to in Romania. Like, it's part of their investigative process because they need to make sure that people that are very powerful individuals don't end up going on the run, don't end up trying to bribe officials in order to, or, you know, tamper with witnesses, scare witnesses off, things like that. It's like, you're not the first person that they've done this to. You're not some kind of martyr, or they're keeping me for 180 days. They've never done this before. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. That's just Romanian law, the country that you moved to. If you were in England, that wouldn't have happened. If you were in America, that wouldn't have happened. But you, for your own reasons, moved to Romania to brag about their system and about how it's a much better. And now you're crying and complaining that, oh my God, they're keeping me locked up for 180 days without charge, trying to hold the Romanian law to Western laws such as America or the UK. When, bro, if you were in the UK, you would have either been charged or been let go. But you moved to Romania and now you're complaining about Romanian law. Okay.
And I think that would be a far more interesting angle than talking about me being the most dangerous man in the world because I own a car.
And this question about schools being very worried about your influence.
Yes.
Boys in primary school, or boys as young as 11 are quoting you at school, attacking girls, refusing to respect female teachers. Would you like to say anything about that?
I'd like to say a lot. First things first, as I've repeatedly said, and the only reason I keep repeating it is because I'm sure this interview will be edited. I am a positive force for the world, and I teach children discipline. I teach the world discipline, male or female, of any age. And a lot of women listen to me as well. 40% of the people who listen to me are actually female. Secondly, I do understand with my massive influence, and I am now the one of the most influential people on the planet, that I do have to be slightly more careful with things I say. I'm not going to disagree with that. The idea that I said something 5 years ago on a video that got 300 views...
So what do you mean, being slightly more careful?
I'll give you an example. Some of the jokes I made 4 or 5 years ago on a YouTube channel that got 300 views, I would no longer make...
Like what?
Like the OnlyFans joke, the one you mentioned repeatedly. When she said, my man's car is my car. And then she said she did OnlyFans. And I said, what do you saw on OnlyFans? She said, my tits. And I said, well, those are your man's tits. As a joke, ha ha ha, everybody laughed. The fact that I could do that on a podcast 5 years ago and it only got 300 views, now I understand I'm the most influential man on the face of the planet. I would be more careful with certain things I say. That doesn't mean the things I originally said were genuinely out to harm people.
Do you really believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled person on the planet.
Do you believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled man on the planet.
I think we're done.
Yep.
I love it because at that point you just gotta go, yeah, I think I'm dealing with an actual psychopath right now. It's like, this man is here telling me that he is undoubtedly the most influential man on the planet. What do you even say to somebody like that, bruh? Like, what do you even say to somebody like that? Somebody like that. Like, she had to ask him again, like, bro, are you serious? Like, you said that. You just said that. And he doubled down, he said, yes, I am the most influential man on the planet. I don't know who he's influencing. I mean, I know the demographics that he tends to be influencing, naive young guys, that's fair enough. And even within this interview, you can still see the mindset of this guy and how he treats these relationships like it's transactional. He treats having a relationship with a woman like it's transactional. Oh, she has an OnlyFans, I deserve a cut from it. Oh, I'm the man, I'm the protector, so I need to have authority over you. It's always like this thing where you can't just love someone. Like someone like Andrew cannot just love somebody. He needs something back in return. He feels like he's owed something back in return. Like, do you really think teaching guys values that can only lead to destructive tendencies down the line is helping men's mental health?
Hey, whore, go make me a sandwich in the kitchen. It's a joke. Okay, females don't deserve rights, it's my opinion. Does anyone in here watch Andrew Tate? No? Okay, then I'll just leave since everyone wants me to freaking die. This is why men's mental health is...
If you're a man living in England or Germany or America or any of the Western world right now, you've decided to live in a country where any woman, any ex, any fucking bitch who works at Greg's who you bought a pasty from, at some point in the future can destroy your life. This Me Too era bullshit has not protected women. It's just destroyed the safety of men.
Like, why would you be telling men or teaching men that? Like, you think, why would you want men to go into relationships with the perception that a woman, especially a fucking 18-year-old, what woman is going into a relationship with an 18-year-old thinking, yo, I'm gonna fucking take everything he has now? Like, what? And yeah, people are gonna be like, oh yeah, what about the NBA players? Are you an NBA player? So you're gonna give me a 1 in a million fucking person and use that as your statistic? You know, are you a billionaire, you know, some high value man that has mansions in 6 different countries, shit like that? No, you're a regular guy like you and me. Nobody's coming to take your hypothetical millions that you may make in 10 years time through Hustlers University. That's not happening. And I know this man is just the highest form of a grifter because he knows exactly what to flaunt, what to say to target the specific demographic he's going for. Even in the past, he said himself, nobody cares if you have a Bugatti or a Lamborghini. The only people that care are 10-year-old boys.
The only people who genuinely adore you when you have a Lamborghini and they see it drive past and their eyes light up and they start waving their hands and they'll do anything to get in your car are 10-year-old boys. So unless you're a pedophile, there's no point buying a Lamborghini purely to get pussy. Buy it because you enjoy it yourself.
See, another funny thing with this guy, he uses the whole, oh, people are agreeing with me, so I must be right tactic as if that's a way to disprove anything. Bro, the internet is a very wide place. You say some shit, people are going to agree with you. I mean, we got fucking white supremacists on the internet that have cultivated a huge, massive fan base. It's like, bro, if you are on the internet speaking, there's gonna be people out there that agree with you. For example, when he did that whole argument that men are better drivers than women and that women are just terrible drivers, and he debated someone about it and he couldn't really say anything, because that's the thing with Andrew Tate. Once he's actually challenged in a setting where people just don't agree with him, his arguments for everything pretty much fall apart. Especially when you've got data, you've got evidence, you've got people with different life experiences to you, because a bunch of the shit he says is completely anecdotal. Don't get, Andrew Tate is not pulling statistics or facts from anywhere. He says himself, he just says a bunch of things that he believes that he's lived through.
People are listening to me and they're either agreeing
I know,
with me
but
or
you're
not.
still wrong, and that's the problem.
I disagree with you.
Do you want to be right, or do you want to keep speaking into a hug box where people agree with you, and
Prove to
then
me I'm
you know,
wrong.
well, if you just completely devalue empirical evidence, actuarial sciences, the entirety of the insurance industry that relies on making these sorts of calculations to ensure that these quotes are as profitable as possible, which ends up charging men higher rates than women, as a statistical likelihood that men are more dangerous drivers than women across the board and get into more car accidents across the board. If you're going to look at all of that and say it doesn't matter because that does not correspond to my own personal experiences, then you're silly. You're being silly. You're being a silly person. If everyone thought like you did, right, we would have no scientific achievements on this planet. We would still be living inside of fucking caves.
And we got to think about the slimy tactics that this guy uses. He specifically targets men who feel insecure, whether that be financially or physically. He specifically targets them because he knows that guys who feel like they're second class, whether that be dating wise, looks wise, they need an ideology that's going to make them feel powerful. They need someone who's going to tell them the shit that they want to hear to make them feel powerful. And with the biases that they already have, you know, in terms of with things like women and, you know, the system, they're going to look at Andrew Tate and say, yes, that's the kind of guy that I want to follow, because to them, he's saying the shit that they want to hear. He's putting it on a very palatable plate that these people want to look at and go, yeah, I'm going to turn this. We have done it. It is done. I wasn't expecting the video to be this long, but I guess it's standard when talking about Andrew Tate because there's a lot wrong with him. So, but yeah, I was expecting maybe 45 minutes, but shit, it might be double that now. But if you've stayed this long, I appreciate it. I love you. Right, that's from my heart. You see this love heart I'm doing on my chest right now? That's for you, baby. That's for you.